Oh my goodness. Come on over. Good morning, Yvonne. How are you doing? Happy spring. My husband's doing dishes upstairs. I can hear him. Whew. I can't believe it's spring. Yesterday, when I was walking the dogs with my daughter, we were just seeing all these flowers. We seen some buttercups, some daffodils, and we definitely see the tulips just popping out more and more. The heads are not fully emerged from underground, but it's just spring is finally springing. I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. I'm I love spring. I like every season except summer. I like summer for a brief moment in time, but then I'm like that heat hits and you're just like, nah, I'm good. I'm curious what um equipment Texas is gonna feel like in August. I know we're in the building most of the time, but I'm curious. I'm curious because we have humidity, but Texas had some serious humidity. The minute I touched ground and I like went outside, my hair went. I was like, okay, the humidity here is real. Oh yeah. So I did my first video for 2025, which is really weird because we're in the middle of March. I didn't have a computer, so I couldn't really edit that well because my videos are never like 45 minutes to an hour. They're always longer than an hour. And I can usually get them all in one pass, but if I mess up, I have to stop and then start again, and then piecing them all together and then up putting them all together in one go is just it's a process. Good morning, Sandra. So, okay, there's a couple things I'm going to talk about today. We're going to be talking about the INU pattern, which has a soft launch today, but the big launch comes tomorrow. Um, and then I'm going to talk about Alchemats is going to be having a pre-order starting tomorrow as well. And what else was I going to talk about? Oh, I'm going to be sewing up with Patreon today, which is fun. We are doing a sew along to the Pisces pack, and we're going to be doing the slip pocket with the saddle bag. And I actually am really excited about this. So we're starting that. We're going to do the exterior today. So there's like a lot of little things that we're going to be doing, and I'm really excited, and everything's already cut out for that. So I'm actually thinking about cutting out, I forgot what it's called. Blue Kella has like a small messenger bag, and I've been stuck on this one panel. And I think I want to make a messenger bag based on this panel, but now I'm trying to find the rest of the fabric. So I got this fabric from a dear friend, and lo and behold, she didn't know that I have other fabric that kind of coordinates with it, and I was actually missing this piece. So this is Doodle Bob from SpongeBob, and this is a perfect panel for the messenger bag. And I have like notebook paper that is for Doodle Bob, and it's actually line paper, and Doodle Bob comes every now and here and there, and I'm trying to locate the vinyl. I want to make a small messenger bag. I like to make so what I do for my Comic Cons is I go through the list of actors, voice actors, comic book people, writers, and I like to make bags based on the people that are coming, because generally people come because of their favorite actor, writer, voice actor, whomever. So when they're coming to across my table, they can be like, "Ooh, oh, I love, Cousin It. So I'm gonna thank you. I want to buy this bag because you made a Cousin It bag and it's hard to find." But what I've noticed throughout the years is I like to throw a couple oddballs in there, and the oddballs sometimes are the ones that sells. Like, I was at a Star Wars convention one time, and all my Marvel bags sold out first. So I always throw a couple oddballs in there. So I've made a couple like Adventure Time, a couple of just like She-Ra, 90s kids, like 90 kids cartoons theme, and I'm now gonna do SpongeBob and just like a couple just random ones to just like throw into the mix of the fun, like the ones. Most of my bags are Lords of the Ring because there is a lot of the Lord of the Rings, the original Lord of the Ring cast that are gonna be there, and I'm like, "Let me just, like, mix it up and throw something to spice it up and just have, some fun." Oh, yeah, Lynette, the backpack is really fun. It's a great bag. It is a long video, but it's well worth it. It's a long video, but when you're done with this backpack, you're gonna be super impressed with your skill set because you learn a lot in an IU. I You learn a lot, and then when you buy the pattern, there is a really cute story. The backpack, the designer made the backpack because off of, like, her sister's bag. So her sister had the backpack that we're making in the video, and her sister wouldn't allow her to use it. So she kinda, like, idolized this bag, and it was, like, the perfect bag, and then when she finally got her hands on it, for a sleepover, she used it, and this was her dream bag. So when she became a designer, she designed the bag after her dream backpack, and I think it's pretty cool. Like, if that's not a reason to design a bag, I don't know what it is, because, like, we all have something, like, kind of that's how we got into bag making. There has to be a bag out there that you have an intent to make because this is why you became a bag maker. There's some bag out there deep down in your soul that you're like, I've been wanting to make, or I'm trying to build my skill level up to make because it's too expensive, or they don't have the right kind of materials that I like, but this is the style I like, or they don't make this bag anymore. So I thought, like, it was charming. It was really refreshing to hear because people are like, "Oh, I just make this bag because people ask for it." But what about what you want? Because what you want might be what the masses want. And I thought this backpack is what the masses want. Like, it is a very charming bag, and the story that goes behind it literally makes me smile every time I read it because I know that feeling. There's a backpack when I was little, and I'm waiting for someone to come out with something like this. I had my dad when he made for my 14th birthday, he bought me 2 backpacks, and they were stuffed animals. One was a lion and one was a teddy bear. My favorite was the lion, and I named him Rupert. Don't ask it. I don't know. And in Rupert, you couldn't open up his head, but the back of his back, you were able to unzip, and you were able to stuff a lot in Rupert. So the front of his head, his arms, his belly, and his legs were stuffed. It was in the back, and it was an adjustable backpack. I haven't seen a backpack like that, and as soon as someone comes out with it, I'm remaking Rupert. I love that bag. It got stolen from me at Magic Mountain in California, and whoever took it, one day I will come across from you. I got you. I do. I got you. I know who you are. You had a red hat. I remember you. Okay. It got stolen from me. I placed it down to tie my shoes. Somebody with a red hat and 2 pigtails took Rupert, and I never seen him again. I didn't care about the money in it. I didn't care about my sunglasses in it or my school ID. I cared about Rupert. I wore Rupert everywhere. I even carried all my heavy books because I wanted to wear them to school. And as soon as I got into bag making, I wanted to make a Rupert. There are more and more bags coming into like stuffed animals. Like, we see that there's a cute little like T-Rex. I'm wearing a T-Rex shirt, that's weird. There's a cute little T-Rex, like, nugget that's out, so I'm seeing more and more people making it, so hopefully somebody will make a, stuffed animal that is a lion, and, I'll be able to do it. So, in this case, the designer made her dream bag, which was her sister's backpack that she, fiended for, and she made it. So I like that we were having an open discussion about this because what made you become a bag maker? What bag did you want to make? that made you want to become a bag maker? Have you achieved it? Or are you still looking for that perfect pattern? Or are you still waiting for the skill sets you need to make that bag? So mine's is a stuffed animal named Rupert. That's a lion. And he was golden. And he was glorious. And his hair was horrible. I always had to brush out his mane. He would get like fairy knots. Like I literally had like a comb for his hair. He had a lot of hair. He looked like the Cowardly Lion from Wizard of Oz. He was my favorite. I didn't touch the teddy bear. He wasn't cute to me. But Rupert, me and him were ride or die. I had him for like 7 or 9 months before he was sadly taken from me. I went to the Magic Mountain police officers and everything, and they like kept rolling their eyes. And I didn't care about the money. I was like, dude, just tell them like they can keep the money, they can keep everything. I just want Rupert back. Never seen Rupert again. It's tragic. So, good morning. Yeah, the red hat and the pigtail. I'm telling you, I'm letting people know. Good morning. Good morning so much. So like everybody has that's what's interesting. So when I read her pattern, when I got my like her tester, I wasn't a tester. Her testers already were testing it. I got any modifications and if I had any feedback, she was really receptive to take it. I only had 2 points designers and you can talk openly where you're not like I have some feedback, but you don't have to take it. Like you could talk like normal, like, hey, your backpack is dope. These 2 points it confused the hell out of me. And it may have confused me because I have ADHD. It may confuse me because I have, dyslexia. It could be just because I'm Shinova. But if you put these two things on your pattern, nobody would be confused. I guarantee you because it's like right there on the pattern. I'm one of these people that when I print out your pattern pieces, I clip them to the actual pattern pieces that I cut out. It's easier for me to function. I can just be like, you're like, oh, use pattern piece B with the pattern piece C. I'll be like, oh, here's B and here's C. And it's easier for me to do it. It's easier than labels. I don't know why I do it. I think it's set in my head because when you're doing McCall, the pattern big four, you're taught to take your pattern pieces and clip them to the pattern. So like a lot of old school sewists, or if you've been taught with original patterns, you're taught to use your pattern pieces with it because there are markings on the original pattern that need to be transferred to onto fabric. So that's what I do. So they were very receptive towards it and I was like, awesome. I didn't have to like be all cloak and daggers with it. And so, like, you don't have to do it. So when I read her story, I had to reach out to her and be like, your story is very charming and refreshing because I feel like sometimes in bag making, we forgot why we want a bag, like the designers and the people that sew. What did you want to do? Why did you get into bag making? What bag did you want to achieve in bag making? Mine's a stuffed animal named Rupert, and we all know the red hat with the pigtails and Magic Mountain. We're coming after her. We ride at dawn. Yeah. So, so we all have something. I know people that want to achieve a Louis Vuitton, a Vera Bradley bag. What bag do you want to achieve? And that's why this bag like touched near and dear to my heart because I was like, she wanted her big sister's backpack. I totally get that too. I there's some my mom had some of the baddest bags. And my sister well, as we got older, my sister was, like, big into lamb from, Gwen Stefani. Lamb used to be the lamb when it first came out was really hard to get. It used to be the absolute and she still has some, and she gave me one, and I wanna give it to a designer so bad because I need somebody to recreate this pattern because I'll bring it down. I'll bring it down tomorrow or something. It has like 3 compartments, but this bag is amazing. I'm like, "I need someone to remake this pattern, please." Um, so, like, there's certain bags that I see and I'm like, "Yeah, these are the bags that I would love to make." So, that's that's what I think we should start focusing on again, like, what do you wanna make? What did you wanna remake? Let's see. Yep, yeah, you're like, "Stop flying backpacks. Let's find it." Oh, good morning, Eve. It's great to see you too. Thank you. Oh, yeah, it was really I don't even know where my dad got it. He just gave and then maybe because it's my dad. My dad always got me really cool gifts, like, really interesting gifts, like, just interesting, just very my mom, she was on point on gifts. My mom is the best gift giver in the world. Like, she's really selfless. I can't explain it. Like like I don't know if you everybody has a person in their life that is like really a great gift giver, but it's hard to give them gifts. I always struggle to figure out what to give her because she's that person like, oh, I don't need anything. I just need your love. And you're just like, Mom, what do you like right now? And, like, it just she's really hard to get, like, she but she is, like, the ultimate gift giver. She's also a person that's really into bags too, so I always like to observe what bags she likes because she's really into fashion with bags, and then she likes something that's unique that everyone doesn't have, like, she always could find that one bag that nobody else has, and you're just like, "How the hell does she find that?" So, like, bags have always been a part of my life in some weird way, and there's certain bags that I would love to recreate. I will need to put a note to myself tomorrow to bring down this lamb bag because as soon as you guys see it, you're gonna be like, "What the hell? Why haven't someone made a bag that looks like this?" This bag is a baddie, and I would take it apart, but I don't write patterns. So I would be like, "Yeah, I have pattern pieces and I could put it together, but I cannot write a pattern for you." This bag is amazing, and I sometimes wanna revisit some of the patterns that were, like, really cool in the early 2000s because there was a lot of bag companies that were just as big as Coach and, Dior and Yves Saint Laurent that were smaller companies, and then they just pulled out. If you guys go back to Lamb when it first came out, these bags were costing 5, 600 up plus, and they were really hard to obtain. Um, so yeah, and my sister was really big on them. And sometimes if you go into eBay or like certain sites, they can still cost a pretty penny because they're hard to get. Sort of like there's these Star Wars hills. Yeah, there's these Star Wars heralds, and they're, like, amazing, and they came out one time, and if you try to get them, they're, like, thousands of dollars on resale. It's crazy. Good morning. I love bags. I do. So let me show you this bag from let me show you the IYANU. So this little cutie is really interesting. You have two three-dimensional pockets. And the way she does her zippers on here is something very unlike that I've ever seen before. We do go over it in the pattern, the video. There's a way she does her zipper tape that's slightly different that when I first did, I was like, what the hell does she want me to do? And then I did, I was like, oh, that makes perfectly good sense. And you can kind of see it. You don't see any raw edges of the tape. So we have that. She doesn't like any top stitching because you're going to probably ask, Shinova, why don't you top stitch this close? There is a little bit of hand stitching when you get down to the bottom, but it's fine. It's fine. You'll see what I'm talking about and you're going to be okay with it. I literally hand stitch on there. It's fine. Sometimes you got to go back to the basics. So you have two 3D pockets on the outside. You have an anti-theft zipper pocket on the back. You, of course, have your slide adjusters. And then she has something really cool that I show you on here. They get this perfect round things. You use some tubing in here. And I show you how to slide that in. It's really funny because I ran out of this tubing. I use this tubing for rolled handles, so I had to order some more on Amazon. It's not that expensive, but it's just so funny because whenever I order it, I'm like, I wonder what like the Amazon people think I'm using it for because like I'll order it like when I'm ordering groceries or like hair products, and it's never just like solo. It's always with something for the house. So then you have this. So this part is pretty cool. We have it. This is a buckle, which is like you have two. You have two rectangle rings or two D rings, but it does something a little bit different. So this has a magnetic snap, so that way it really does hold this in. You could pull it down or push it up to hold more things in. We have a drawstring. So in the video, you're going to see me punch out holes. I do use my punch that is part of my my press. It makes life easier. I use a 1/2 inch one, but I did see people in the testing group use 3/8 of an inch. I just used the 1/2 inch, like she said in the pattern. Yeah, slide it on down, and you have a zipper pocket inside. You have a zipper pocket pouch. That's a slip pocket in the back too. You have a really cool cargo pocket, and you have like room to do more. If you wanted to put like a water bottle holder or something like that, this has a lot of room. The interesting thing about this bag is that if you look at my photo, you if you go on my Instagram, I made this bag with kind of out of like a more type leather. It looks smaller than the one I did in cork. The cork has more stability in it and it sits more erect, okay? And this slouches more, so this looks like a medium and that one looks like a large, and there's no size difference. There's just one size. So it's pretty it will get interesting the more different materials you use. In the group there's people that use like straight up marine vinyl. There's one that has my heart where they like did this quilted diamond marine vinyl. I'm totally lusting after that bag. There's someone that did some beautiful cotton and they do a little bit of quilting that is absolutely stunning. There's so many different fabrics that were used in the group, which I absolutely love because that shows you how diversified this bag can possibly get. So I had fun with it. And today I was funny. I took pictures of this bag, but I just put these on because I totally forgot to. I always put rivets in on these areas, but I got these rivets from, you can't see the stupid ring light focus. These are limited edition rivets from Country Cow, and I just put them on, and I'm like, yeah, man, it's limited edition. It's the only one. So that is the Mora version. The first one I did, this is the brown cork one. And instead of putting the magnet in the inside of this, I decided to do it on the outside. Um, and the as you can see, it has like it looks kind of a little bit different because of how structured it is. So I did the same thing. It just looks a little bit different because of the structure. So that's what I was saying, that it's pretty. Let me see if I can hold them side by side. It's pretty interesting to see how these bags look with different material. You can have the same bag, which is one is one is really structured and the other one's a little bit slouchy. You can see the slouch and the not slouch on it. So it's pretty crazy. I like both of them a lot. I would rock either one of them, and it's a fun bag. It's gonna take time. It takes a little while to cut everything out. Follow all the pre-instructions. Her writing style is a little bit different. To me, it's like a syllabus. Like, so it's like a teacher breaking down what you need to do ahead of time. So you need to do this, 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 and this. It's not written like a regular pattern. And at first I was like, I told her that, and she was like, is that a good or a bad thing? And I was like, actually, it's pretty interesting because I was able to follow it pretty easily because it was broken down completely differently than I've ever seen a pattern. It was like a teacher like, "Hey, I'm going away for the weekend. There's no substitute teacher. This is your lesson. Lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3." And it just all came together in the end. I was like, "Okay." So it was pretty cool. And you get, like I said, you're gonna learn how in the video, you're gonna do grommets, you're gonna do drop in, you're gonna do 3D pockets, you're gonna be putting uh on 3D pockets onto the exterior of the bag. You're gonna be doing tubing. There's a lot of cool techniques that you're gonna be doing. Out of everything she does, her zipper pockets, I've never done a zipper pocket like that. I've done a lot of zipper pockets. I test for a lot. I have test a lot. I I don't know everything, but I've never done a zipper pocket like hers. Never. There's no one. No, I've never. She had she had that where you have the one, and you do it like this, and I was like, oh shit, I hate that. I Okay, so personal preference. I hate when we have one piece of fabric because now we know about zipper facings or plaques. And I was like, I automatically assumed I was so fucking wrong. I did it, and then I had to video it to her. And I was like, I understand everything in this pattern, but I have one question. And what I did is she was like, yeah, that's absolutely right. I was like, I have never seen a zipper pocket done like this ever, ever. That does, I've never seen it. I'm still shook about that. Like, I've been waiting for this pattern to come out just so people could see the zipper pocket. I sh I just I'm still shook because like, I didn't understand, and I don't know what made her think of it this way. It was so unique. It's so different, and I just think designers and their brains are freaking architects of our bag making world. It's pretty cool. Um, I've never done a zipper pocket like that. I don't know. All I can give you without giving you anything of the pattern is we're told to cut out like our zipper pocket, draw our pocket on the back. And again, I hate doing that because you know you see the raw edges of the zipper tape. And then she just changes it up. And you're gonna want to start doing one pockets because you're like, hey, I can save material and I don't know. I never seen anything like that. So I was like, what does she mean? So like, and I wasn't a tester. I'm just the videographer. I just had to double check because I wanted to make sure I didn't do anything that was different from the pattern. And I literally put the camera down, record it, and I was like, look, my voice is really raspy because I just got up. I want to, before I film this scene, I need to make sure that I am doing this right. I read your instructions, but I've never done a pocket like this ever. Am I sewing? Like never, not in bag making, not in clothes making. Like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. She's like, no, it's 100% right. And I was like, oh my God, this is freaking genius. So, yeah. So the affiliate link is in the description box. The YouTube link is in the description box and also in the chat. Yeah, so today again, I'm going to be doing the Pisces pack with the Patreon for the exterior, which I'm really excited about. We're doing like the one with the alternate D-ring, and I am just like, I don't know. I don't know. There's something I obviously like this one. And I can't find my Doodle Bob vinyl with this panel. It might become it might become one of those. So I really want to find the Doodle Bob though. I'm just I can't find everything right now. My husband's coming down. Everything okay? He's like, and sometimes whenever he comes down, then the Loki comes down. You know. So yeah, I have that, and then I had I'm doing badges for like quarterly badges for my Patreon, and I drew like this really cool badge, but then somehow like I didn't like it, so I had to go back to the drawing board. So I'm trying to finish that up so that way I can get them in to the guys, so that way I can get my badges to some of my Patreon peeps, hopefully by the middle of April. Um, and yeah, that's all I got right now. I hope everyone has a really good day. If you guys have any questions about the pattern or anything that I've talked about, leave a comment down below and I'll get right back to you. And I will see you guys later, okay? Talk to you later. Bye. Are you okay, Kendall?